Hi, this is Jason in Jason's Jungle. Today I'm going to be looking at hose fittings or how I plan to stop wetting myself on the allotment. I'm also going to be looking at the Icon Tex hose, which was reviewed on Greenside Up and also on the gardening channel with Ray. So I'll look at how to use these and other similar hoses with third-party spray heads. So I'll roll credits and then I'll show you what I'm doing. So this is the ubiquitous quick release hose connector. Virtually every hose in the UK comes with it. Great if you want to quickly release your handle or change hoses or move it from one tap to another, but sometimes it doesn't work too well. Some people complain that this just pops off at the most inopportune moments, either on the tap or on the connector. I do have one spray head that just flies off as soon as the pressure builds up a bit. But for me, the main problem is this entire fitting ends up coming off of my hose. The pressure just builds up and pushes this off. So I have to turn the water off, which is at the other side of the plot. So walk back there, turn it off, walk back, fix this, walk back, turn it on, walk back, start watering again, and 10 minutes later, pop, it's gone again. So I thought, nah, screw this. And this is the screw that I'm going to be using. This is sold as a hose mender. It is a 1/2 inch bob to a 3/4 inch thread. Yep, and that will allow us to clamp the hose using hose clamps like these with a lot of pressure rather than the usual thin little. Now I've went through cheap ones and I went through expensive ones and they all happen the same, so spend £4 for something that still pops off. You know, it's obviously, maybe they're just blessed with high pressure water, but this should hold it on a lot tighter because you can really put the force on this and it'll grab it and mold it into these little bobs. Okay, so this is the female and this is the male, and I know what you're going to say, but that's what my handle looks like, and that doesn't fit. You know, it doesn't fit with that one either. But here's the trick. This unscrews. Now in America they use screws all the time. They don't use the quick release, or very rarely use the quick release. So, you know, things tend to be designed with a screw in mind. But there is a bit of a problem with these. Now if you look here, it doesn't quite fit in. That's because they are different. They're both 3/4 inch, but this is a NTP, which is National Threaded Pipe, which is the American standard, and this is the BSP, British Standard Pipe, which is the rest of the civilized world and Sunderland. Now, the problem with that is you don't always know if this is going to be BST, because when you think about it, if they're making all these for America, they're going to use American size things, and then when they want to do a British one, they just slap one of these in. So it could be BSP, it could be NTP, you never know. But as I saw, it does go in and it will form a connection, but what won't happen is it won't push down on the washer inside. But that's not too hard to fix. Now I'll start off with the female one, which is the easiest to fix. So the female screws in to the male. The female NPT screws on to the male BSP, but there's a bit of a wobble. It doesn't quite push up against that. So the easiest way to fix that is to pop in an extra washer. And now when I screw it in, bear in mind when I screw them in properly I would be putting pipe thread on there. So when I screw it in, there you go, that's nice and tight. You know, so that will hold the pressure. So the female is the easiest one to convert. The male, takes more than one washer, one additional washer. So this has got 2 washers in. If I put 2 washers into there, it doesn't quite connect. If I put 3 washers in there, so the original plus 2 extra, in some of these, this one does, I think, yeah. So that one is now fixed for that, but not all connections that I've found are deep enough to take 2 additional washers. A lot of them you need a washer and a half extra, which sounds strange. But the half extra I done by taking 4 or 5 layers of this. This is self-amalgamating SOS pipe repair tape. Basically it's a rubber tape that when you put it against itself, it sticks together and it eventually merges together to make one chunk of rubber. But it doesn't stick to anything else. It's used for when you've got a pipe leak, or I use it for virtually everything that involves joints, just to give a bit more sealant. Now I put 4 of them together and then I cut out a little washer shape. Not perfect, but it does the job. So now when I screw this in, I put the washer in first, that's in there, then I put the DIY washer, and then I put a new washer in. Now, as I said, that one fitted with 3, but what I am putting on here is one of these little taps, because if I want to unscrew it, my quick release on my hose has a stop in there, so if I release the pressure it stops the water. But there's nothing on there, so I've got that there to do that. So now I would pop in my little DIY one first, just get that in the centre. You have to remake this because it's not quite the right size. Then I pop in the original one, and then I can screw this in, and now you can see it's starting to get a bit of friction. And if I use my pipe grips, but I'm not going to now, because I am first of all going to put this on. This is thread sealant tape. You just need a couple of layers of this. And what it does is it just makes it a lot easier to maintain a watertight seal. Now with that on, I can screw it into here. You can see the white of the tape, only 2 layers of it. I apologise if I can't see what this is pointing at, so. And then just with the pipe grips, or pliers or whatever, just tighten it up a little bit more, and that's given me a nice tight knit with this. Okay, now this is BSP, as you can see by the fact that I put the extra washers in, which means that is BSP. Now that will screw into BSP no problem. And if I did get one that was MTP, then the female would just need 1 extra washer. So I can screw it into that one, or I can take something like this. Now this I always had a problem with this flying off, which is why I never used it. Now, if I screw that in there, it's not going to fly off. I've got adjustable controls here, so this isn't as fine controls, but I've got this which can go from fully open, fully closed, and somewhere in between, and it would be nice and tight on the system. Okay, so if you're using the Icon, what's it called again? Icontex hose, that has an NTP thread, so you'd have to do the washer and the tape. You wouldn't need this because it has it built in, so that could go straight into your spray head. Just put this back in so I don't lose it. Not that I want to keep it because it's dodgy. Of course, there's times where you think, yeah, but you know, I want to, you know, be able to quickly connect, because let's say I've got my water butt in the greenhouse and I like to plug this in, fill that up because that does my irrigation, and of course I have to screw it because it doesn't have a connector that can rotate. I have to screw one, turn round up, you know, spin it round. It would be a right pain in the butt. So what I can do is on that side I can take one of these, and this is a 3/4 inch ASP connector, and it converts that into hose lock connector. So now I've still got the quick release connector, yeah, but it's now secured firmly onto the pipe, yeah, with its own inline tap. And basically, if I'm just using the Icontech, I could unscrew that, and I could just put the 2.5 washers in there, the tape, and that would allow us to use that as a hose lock. So that's 2 ways of doing it for the Icontech. The third way is very easy. You take that female one that I showed you earlier, stick a bit of hose on that, and the quick release on the other end, and you end up with this. Now I can screw that on the Icontech, I can plug in any connector in there, you know, except for this one because this will come out with the pressure, and that would make it convert it straight into a quick release system. Of course I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with this long way because of the fact that it always fires off the pipe. So I will end up, if I show you something with a hose, I'll end up with something that looks like this. Now these metal ones, they work slightly differently than that. You've got to pull these back to push these in, and as well as pull them back to take them out. So unlike the plastic ones where you can just push it in, these you actually need to pull this back because there's 3 little ball bearings in there that can move when it's pulled back but can't move when it's slid forward. So you need to remember that. But there you go, that's how you can stop yourself from wetting yourself on the allotment, and also use any hose you want, any quick connect spray head with a screw on hose, such as the I keep forgetting its name, Icontech. Yeah, I'll put a link to those 2 reviews on it, and you can have a look at them and then decide if it's something for you. I don't get anything from it, it wasn't me who was paid, but it seems like a good thing. I have bought it myself, so This is just how to use it with all the other heads, as well as the one that they provide. Anyway, if this has been useful, if this has maybe given you ideas or helped solve a problem, you'd like more like this, leave comments, like, subscribe, share with friends, friend with neighbours, talk to random strangers in the street, do anything you want. If you didn't like it, still leave a comment, tell us why you didn't like it, and I will see you on my next video.